Underwater discoveries. Number 10. Swedish Atlantis. Anything that has been dubbed the Swedish Atlantis is sure to be both weird and cool. This find doesn't disappoint either. This is the bare bones of an ancient civilization dating back around 10,000 to 11,000 years ago. It was found buried underneath the ocean floor in the Baltic Sea in a Nordic region. The discovery of this small population hints that this is the oldest sign of settlement in the Nordic region. Among the things discovered was wood, flint, animal bones, and ropes. They also found remains of an extinct early form of wild cattle called aurochs that went extinct in the 1600s. The artifacts were extremely well preserved thanks to the type of sediment that they were buried under that limits oxygen content to stall decay. The researchers that discovered it, Björn Nielsen, and a team from Lund University, say that settlements like this are common because 20,000 years ago the sea levels were 300 feet below the present level. Number 9. 4,000-year-old shipwreck. Urla Port in Turkey is a favorite of underwater archaeologists because it dates back to the 7th century BC. But while the official port has existed for that long, the area has been used by ships for over 5,000 years. The ship, at about 4,000 years old, is the oldest that has been discovered in the Mediterranean, and it might take the top spot from all over the world. The discovery was made by Ankara University's Research Center for Maritime Archaeology. The university says that the discovery is an important one for archaeology, and the artifacts that they are finding could provide more insight into the life and culture of ancient Turkey. Number 8. Ancient shipwreck capital of the world. It's a pretty big deal when just one old wreck is found, let alone 23. That's what happened in July of 2015 though. A team of maritime archaeologists, including George Katsouflakis, got a call from a free diver that had seen several clay pots at the bottom of the ocean in the Forni archipelago in Greece. Once the funding was given for the dive, just 2 people went into the water over an 11-day period and turned up with 22 different shipwrecks. When they came back with a bigger team for a 22-day period, they found another 23 wrecks. The total number of shipwrecks discovered are 45, and they make up 20% of all ancient Greek sunken ships. The ships date from 525 BC to the 1800s, and many different periods in between. In addition to the wrecks, the seafloor is littered with ancient pottery and other artifacts. Number 7. Neolithic agriculture. The development of agriculture and pasturing is the single most significant innovation in human history. It's what moved us past the hunter-gathering and puts us on the path to what we are today. This new silt sample that was taken off the coast of the Isle of Wight in England rewrites what we know about the history of agriculture in Britain. A team did the research from the universities of Bradford, Birmingham, and Warwick in 2015, and the sample contained wheat that dates back to around 6000 BC. That puts the dawn of agriculture back 2,000 years before than previously believed. The site of the find is also significant because it dates before the earliest signs of civilization in the area. There isn't evidence of Neolithic influence in that region of Europe until 5300 BC. Number 6. Wreck of First Naval Battle. This discovery is one that proves that for as long as people have been able to sail, they've been trying to fight each other. It should have come as a surprise to no one that the first naval battle was done by the ultimate engineers of war, the Romans. The fight remains laid at the bottom of the ocean for more than 2,000 years undisturbed. The battle was the Battle of the Egadi Islands, and it was the first conflict of the Punic War, which was Rome's first taste of European domination. The wreck was discovered over 5 kilometers or a little over 3 miles. It was also buried under 100 meters of earth, or nearly 330 feet. The discovery is exciting because it could give us insight into how Romans first developed their empire and how nautical technology was at the time. 11 battering rams were discovered, along with a wealth of bronze helmets and armor. Number 5. Naya the Skeleton. This ancient skeleton is a teenage girl that lived anywhere from 12,000 to 13,000 years ago. It was found in an underwater cave in the Yucatan in a cave called Hoyo Negro, or the Black Hole in English. Her skeleton is the oldest complete one that we have in North America. It's been a mystery to scientists why Native Americans don't resemble their ancient ancestors and this skeleton, and its DNA may be the answer that they were looking for. Her remains paint an interesting picture because although she has had all the genetic markers for present-day Native Americans, she has the old features that so puzzled archaeologists. Although we still aren't able to trace back what triggered the change in appearance in Native Americans, making the skeleton structure go from the sharp features of ancient people to the soft facial structures of today. Number 4. Ancient seafloor. We tend to think of the ocean as a massive, immortal, unchanging thing. However, this recent discovery is just another reminder that the Earth as we know it is in a constant state of flux. In August of 2016, a geologist by the name of Roy Granot discovered what is believed to be a slab of the ancient seafloor. It's been hanging out at the bottom of the Mediterranean Ocean for about 340 million years, making it older than all known seafloors to date. The slab went undiscovered for so long because it's buried under 8 miles of new sediment. The discovery was made by Roy Granat and his team through the use of magnetics, and it took more than 2 years to get a full picture. The ocean was a part of the Lost Tethys Sea, and the research is important to geologists because it dates the Lost Sea back further than previously believed by about 50 million years. Number 3. Antikythera skeleton. Although this shipwreck is much more famous for giving us the earliest example of a computer that was used to track the sun and stars, that goes by the name of the Antikythera mechanism, an overlooked discovery may be just as enlightening as the first. The skeleton was discovered in August of 2016 directly under some sediment on the ocean floor. It dates back 2,100 years, and it includes a skull, 2 arm bones, 2 femurs, ribs, and other various smaller bones. The discovery is impressive because finding remains in shipwrecks are rare because they tend to either be swept away or taken by fish. Although much was able to be gathered from the wreck with the other artifacts, the skeleton will give anthropologists a chance to study the biology of people more in depth. Number 2. 14,550-year-old slaughtered mastodon. Adding more onto the mystery of old Americans, the slaughtered remains of a mastodon was found off the coast of Florida. Although there is no human remains found, the cause of death of the old animal hints heavily at first hunting practices. That again dates people existing in the Americas further back than we initially believed, a full 1,500 years. The researchers behind the finding believe that the kill was a result of the Siberian tribe that migrated all the way to the southern US to hunt prey. The site that the skeleton was found, the Page-Ladson site, is one of the 3 oldest archaeological digs in the New World and the oldest in the southeast United States. The tusks of the mastodon were found under 15 feet of sediment along with a stone tool that indicates human technology. This discovery means that people existed alongside some of the more dangerous animals of the ancient world for longer than we initially believed. Go us! Number 1. Massive ancient Greek city. This discovery was made in 2014 by a team at the University of Geneva off the Lambayana beach in Greece. What they found was an enormous Greek city that dated back as far as 2500 BC. The city stretches across the equivalent of 10 football fields, and it includes several buildings, defensive towers, paved streets, and obsidian weapons. Ever since stumbling across the ruins, the team has found a total of 6,000 artifacts, and the leader of the team calls it an archaeologist's paradise. The city has several hints at technology that related to metallurgy and smithing because that was one of the main economic forces for the Greeks at the time. The city also had strong fortifications because it believed that the town also stored trading goods. The Greek city dates back to about the same time as the pyramids of Giza and predates the first Greek civilization, Mycenae, by about 1,000 years.